Hello. I wanted to look at terrorism because I felt some of the definitions and the understandings and the types of terrorism maybe needed looking a little bit at in our feedback today. So, when we're looking at terrorism, we're looking at an act of terror that quite often is the result of uh, instead, it's an alternative to war. So if you were perhaps a smaller group and you were not going to win a war against what you're fighting against, you might, commit an act of terror as a way of getting your message across. But that it is up to you. So if we have a look at, for example, one reason that terrorism happens is because of nationalism, which is extreme love for one's country. An example of this is the assassination of Franz Ferdinand that started World War One. Now, also that was a shooting, so that was someone being shot as a method of terror. Another reason you could have terrorism is due to religious differences or possibly even religious persecution. For example, the gunpowder plot, where Catholics were banned in England, and it turned some of them into terrorists who then tried to blow up Parliament. Okay, obviously, blowing up Parliament, an explosion, is a different form of terror than shooting someone, which the assassination of Franz Ferdinand was. So they're different for a number of reasons. Another example might be general oppression. That means being put down, right? And in the USA, when England ruled the US, some Americans opposed a tax that we made them pay on tea. And so they robbed a boat and basically threw a load of tea in the river. Now that was considered terrorism, and the form of terrorism would be sabotage. So sabotage is different from blowing up a building. It's different from murder. So the types of terror are different, and the acts are different. But the reasons why people might commit terrorism are different as well. They might be religious reasons, they might be oppression, they might be nationalism, it might be one's own government terrorizing its own people, for example. And as I say, I hope that simplifies it and makes it a little bit easier to understand.